Cars are a direct reflection on who owns them and who drives them. And in the case of this car is a direct reflection on what most businessmen will buy as a car. BMW 330e is a mixture of fun and sensibility put into one pot. It starts off with a subtle front. Different variations of this car will get meaner kidney grills or black surrounding on the front. Each model of the 330e will get front parking sensors. Moving across this way, you get BMW LED lights, which you have daytime running lights that will be on a standard across the middle. Different versions will get different ones depending on what specification you go on. A standard will come with 18-inch alloys. These are the optional alloys that are a bit extra. Most sport models, which what this is, will come with just silver alloys. Chris here. Being a plug-in, you've got the charging port that either connects to your 3-pin plug at home or your Type 2 when you're out and about. Moving to the side, the silhouette of the car is darkened out with tinted windows and blacked out surrounds. On all BMW 330es, you get rear parking sensors. And the biggest selling point for me, what separates this car from others, is the dual tip exhaust. So on other cars, you would get just a single, which will be on the 320i or 320d. On the 330e, you get dual tip exhaust. You also get the 330e badging at the back, rear camera down here. Being a saloon, you don't get a rear wiper, but it fits the silhouette of the car. You get your display, your DAB receiver across the top, fuel cap right here, which is controlled by a button that's inside the car. Moving to the front, to this angle, it's finished in mineral grey with the grey alloys. I think for me, it's the best suited colour because it's subtle, yet sporty looking without the M performance package. Let's talk about performance. The car has a 2-litre inline-4 B48 engine. It produces 297 brake horsepower. When you look at this in comparison to the previous one had only 40 miles of range on the electric. This one has a projected figure of 36. However, realistically, I've only ever managed to get about 24 out of it. Biggest difference between this B48 and the B48 you'll find in the 320i is the e-drive on it. You get your standard engine oil here, washer fluid here, you've got earthing cables across there, but apart from that, pretty tidy engine. And BMW have proven that this engine works because it lives in the 320i and it will forever live in this particular car up until they make a change. So here's what the B48 sounds like. It's been driving for about an hour, but that's pretty beefy for a car that's only got a 2-litre engine. You can change the noises through the speaker system, but from out here, I'm a fan.
So we've gone round a BMW 330e, but that's not what you're here for. What you're here for is to hear me tell you how it drives, how it sounds, and how it is as a day-to-day car. So let's just jump into that.
So here we are in the driving seat of the 330e. And of course we've got to take it off-road just to see how the suspension handles. And with that little dish hole that we just went through, it handled itself quite well. So let's start with the bad points. It's very bland in here, very bland. It's very businessmanish. You've got black seats, piano black interior. There's no excitement when it comes to sitting here than sitting to the other competitors. I mean, they could make the screen bigger. They could have a more interactive digital display. I mean, this is pre-LCI, so I'm assuming BMW have listened and they've changed a few things. However, I could be completely wrong. the seating position in any BMW has always been a sticking point for most drivers, me included. Because of the way you sit, unless you've gone for the option of car that has lumbar support, it's a stiff ride. But we're only in a sport, so if you compare this to something that's got an M Sport package, you will need a new back when you're done with it. So I can't complain too much. Could it do with a better steering wheel? Absolutely. But again, you have to pay for that. This is where BMW have got people. You have to pay for the little options that you like. Could it do with having auto dipping headlights or high beam? Yeah, that's something that we've been spoiled by all the other manufacturers, and they don't offer it as standard in this car. This is a car that's going to be driven by traveling salesmen, businessmen, doctors, people like me, people that like fun. And that, I think, that was a big oversight. However, there are some good on the side of that. The car just drives perfectly. Ignoring the seating position, I feel like I can see everything. I've got great visibility, the mirrors are big enough. Could it do with the little blinkers on the side to tell me that Mr. Cyclist is going to be behind? Yeah. However, I've got great visibility. The pillars are where they should be. It screams BMW. It's BMW science. It's good. You get paddles to change gears as standard across the whole range, which previously you had to pay for. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and those are just certain bits that, as someone that spends most of their time in the car, you want. But by far the best thing about this car is the driving modes. The way it changes from a hybrid to sport, and it just does it seamlessly. We're currently driving it in hybrid mode, and it's got a thing called e-boost that kicks it up a few birds as you pull away. Like so, and you can still hear that little engine tone that makes it go, makes it fun. And all that changes when you put it into sport mode, which we will as you get further down. But the displays match the mood. You've got blue for hybrid, saving the polar bears, as some might call, red for sport, because red means danger. The other thing I love about the car is if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, it displays in your driver's cockpit. Other manufacturers don't give you that option. Let's put it into sport so you can hear it. Oh yeah. It revs harder. It revs harder. The gears hold, the revs hold a bit more. The suspension becomes stiffer. But when the suspension becomes stiffer, you charge the electric battery on the back end of it. So whilst having this car means you have to drive it in sport all the time, that's not such a bad thing. Okay, driving it in sport means you're always back at the petrol station, and the car's only got a 40-litre tank. So in the current cost of living crisis, it's going to cost £35–40 to fill it up. Combine that with the range you get from the plug-in, you probably get 320 miles in a good day. But it's subtle. That changing gear is so subtle that you almost forget that the car's in sport. Even now I'm sat here, it's comfortable. Everything that I'll touch when I'm driving is within reach. You've got your cruise control on one side, you've got your volume, your phone, you've got your wipers, then you've got your heated seats, your aircon, your pedestrian stuff there that I've not played with. But even so, just playing around with it, it's an easy system to play. It's an easy system to play with. And this being the iDrive 7, BMW have offered you the chance to do remote updates That means if the car needs an update, you will get the notification on your phone, download it on your phone, and as you're driving, it will naturally charge you. And where BMW and Connected Drive have gone above and beyond, they now offer you certain things like speed camera recognition, which I've gotten a free trial in this car, which tells you to 1 foot how close the speed camera is. Yes, people say you can use Waze, you can use Apple CarPlay, you can use Google Maps, you name it. But if the car's offering you the option, yes, there's a cost attached to it, but the car's offering it to you, I'll just take it. You've also got stuff like hazards are where they should be. Your heating control takes, your heating and ventilation takes a lot to get used to. But once you're used to it, you kind of preset it to what you want it to be. With the 2 keys, you can preset certain things to happen depending on who's using the key. So if your wife's driving it, or your girlfriend, and they like a certain temperature, like a particular radio station, you've got that. Listen. And it's going. But you quickly realize how quickly this car creeps up to speed because it's so quiet. And again, when you park it in car parks, it's very similar to the rest. And I think that's where this B48 engine thing comes into play. It could be louder, but it's subtle at the right points. The fact that they've mated it with this electric motor, and most places you're going to charge it, you only support 7 kilowatt hours. It's not the end of the world, because when you buy the car, you have the option. You either get it with a 3-pin to Type 2, which it comes with anyway, or like me, you just go buy the Type 1 to Type 2 so you can use it out and about. And if you're savvy enough, there's certain supermarket chains that will allow you to charge free of charge for up to 2 hours. And on this car, 2 hours will get 15, 20 miles. I've seen loads of deals with the likes of BP Pulse where you can subscribe, charge, and you build for it every month. So there is a benefit to it. It's got a massive benefit in BIK, so for people that will use this as a company car, there's not much to hate for this. But on top of all that good stuff, this car is quite expensive. It starts now, and the current model, about £48,000. This model started off about 37, 38, depending on what spec you went on, and depending on what options you put up, that put the price up. You then have to think, if you look in the used car market, to get a car this age, they range from between £20,000 to £30,000, mileage depending, colour depending, spec depending. So would you really want to buy a new one when you can buy a used one for a fraction of the cost? Maybe without a warranty. If a warranty is important to you, a BMW warranty is important to you, then yeah. But you can also buy more fun BMWs around that cost, should you wish. So if you're going to use this as your everyday or your daily, you can get an M or an M Lite for about the same price for your weekend car. And this B48 engine isn't going away. We've seen how powerful it is. We've seen people tune them up to 300-400. Well, the car comes standard with 297 horsepower. And I've seen on the internet people tune this up to 400 birds. So you're thinking 400 birds will get you enough. And this could be your fun car and your daily without the need to buy another car. However, I will always take it back to the price. In this current climate, asking for £48,000 starting for one of these is a bit extreme. And when you look at the used car market, it drops a lot. So you then have to think, what do I gain and what do I lose? If it was me, I'll probably just buy a used one. I'll find a good low mileage used one. That doesn't mean the new deals and new cars aren't terrible. It's just what will suit my pocket. And I quite enjoy driving this more than I've driven all the other business sedans or business saloons. We've already done the review on the Lexus IS300H. And again, similar sort of layout. But where this wins above the Audis, the Mercs, the Lexuses of the world, the Toyotas, the VWs, is BMW weren't lying when they said it was an ultimate driving machine. Because it is. I can't get enough of that.
So we've established that the BMW 330e is by far the best value BMW that you can get, and from time to time it could be the most fun you can have in a non-M or M-like car on the lineup.
BMW 330e. I had mixed feelings about this car when we started filming it, but having lived with it for the last couple of weeks, I really like it. And it also feels really awkward doing this without Ben, because usually we'll have a talking point. But I'll just do a quick recap. Steering wheel, perfectly fine. If it was the M Sport package, I would be a bit more, yeah. Like the seating position, I love the steering wheel, I love the digital display. The iDrive 7 works perfectly. I recently got an opportunity to update that through my phone, and I was more than happy with it. This center console, the black on black, fantastic. Lack of wireless charging is noticed. However, you get USB points here, USB points in here. Overall, it's a great place to be. And like I said, why buy any BMW when BMW have combined the fun and the sensibility all in one package?
So there you have it. The BMW 330e is one of the best BMWs in BMW's current lineup. If you want more content from us, then like, share and subscribe. I'm TC from Lover of Cars, and I'll see you in the next one.